Hey guys, this is Robert with the Robert and Frank Show, and this is my daily Reddit rant. Now, what I'm going to be talking about today is something that it affects me on a daily basis. It is something that is a very serious condition in terms of health. And if you don't know what that is, it is
Diabetes.
Now, I'm going to be talking about the misconceptions. Now, I'm not going to go over everything. I'm not going to go over what you should or shouldn't do. Is if you have a friend that's diabetic, whatever. More of what I'm going to do is kind of vent my frustrations on the world. And hang on a second here. All right, here we go. And really, what I really want to get down to is, it's always frustrating to me. I am diabetic. Now, if you don't know diabetes, there are two types. Now, the first one is where your body attacks your pancreas, I believe. You know what? I'm not type 1 diabetic, but let's look it up. Let's go to Google, type 1 diabetes. Now, type 1 diabetes is diabetes.org. Let's see what this says. And this is, I'm not an expert in diabetes, but it's something that everyone should understand, in my opinion. In type 1 diabetes, the body does not produce insulin. And in essence, it doesn't explain it in detail, but if part of what I remember is correct, it's like your body is actually attacking the insulin, or it's attacking your pancreas, which produces the insulin. It's one of the two. And as a type 1 diabetic, you typically have to be on daily injections of insulin. It's a mess. It's painful sometimes if you hit the wrong spot. I've been on insulin before. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But it's a life. It's your life, and you have to change your lifestyle to fit, right? Some people take it too far. My opinion, people give their opinions where it's not deserved, it's not asked, and that's part of what frustrates me to the core sometimes. Now, to explain now type 2 diabetes, which is what I have, it's basically insulin resistance. Now, insulin resistance is basically, take for example, alcohol. You start drinking enough, your body starts getting resistant or getting used to having that in your body. Well, in essence, insulin resistance, I'm sorry, let me finish. If you're continuously drinking, you're, like, for example, an alcoholic, you have to keep drinking more and more and more to get a good buzz. That's the way, in essence, in type 2 diabetes works. And this is for all of you people on Reddit, ELI5. Explain it like I'm 5. That's the best I can do. Now, the important part about this is that type 2 diabetes, you don't have to be on medicine always. And it can be controlled, but there's more to it than just healthy eating and whatnot. It's also dependent on how far you are into type 2 diabetes. How bad is your body? Have you damaged it? Have you ravaged it? And I will tell you personally, me, complete knucklehead. I will admit that on the internet because it was true. I didn't listen to my family. The day I learned I had diabetes, I had somewhere like 12 sodas, maybe more than that. I had 2.5 huge Slurpee, freaking like 48-ounce cups Slurpees. My sugar was so high that I should have been admitted to the hospital. I took a blood test on my dad's insulin machine. The damn thing said, "Danger, see doctor." He gave me medicine to bring my sugar down. 2 hours later, I was at just under 600 points, which, if you're a diabetic, is high. You never want to be there. Now, the thing with this is, people don't understand it. It is a disease. It's just like any other, disease, blood or whatever, leukemia. It's a disease, it's a different type of disease, and it affects a lot of people. But there's different ways it affects people. Like I mentioned, there's the type 1, type 2. And I think it's frustrating to the type 1s out there, and I am sorry, type 2s, we get all the attention. That sucks, because people always say, well, you should watch what you eat. You should do this. You should do that. And it's not just that. It's not a diet. It's not a small lifestyle change that everyone goes through every freaking New Year's. It's a whole different story. People say, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not a big disease. Well, no, that's crap. That's BS. It is a legitimate disease that, if it is not kept in check, can kill you. And not directly. As a matter of fact, diabetes itself does not kill you. Usually. Diabetes causes complications. The higher your blood sugar for a longer amount of time, the more damage that your body gets, because there's so much sugar in your body, and it damages your blood vessels, your arteries, all kinds of damage because there's so much sugar. This is the important reason as to why you need to watch your sugar as a diabetic, and it's important, right? Now, another big thing, and there's I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not gonna try to talk too long about this, because I know I can talk for like 20 minutes sometimes. But this is one that's dear to me, and it pisses me off the way people think sometimes. Overweight does not equal diabetes. It is a risk factor. It is a potential for you to get diabetes if it's there. There are a lot of people that are perfectly healthy. There are Olympians. Olympics have diabetes. There are Olympians that have type 1 diabetes. As a matter of fact, let me Google this. Google to the rescue. Olympians with diabetes. Ooh, that was the first one. A list of sports people with diabetes. Now, this is Wikipedia. Let's see. American football. Jay Cutler, Michael Eccles. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not big in sports. Man, this is just everything. Hold on. Gary Hall Jr. Was an American freestyler in swimming in the Olympics. 5-time Olympic gold medalist in 1996, 2000, and 2004, has type 1 diabetes. People have it. It's not the end of the world to have diabetes, but you need to manage it properly. I'm not going to go any more into that. Anyway, so the other thing is, if you have too much sugar, it causes diabetes. And that's the other thing. It's like, no, God, no. Hell, there are people that I know personally that have mounds and mounds of sugar and crap and carbs and breads and sweets and galore, and they're perfectly fine. They're not diabetic. And why? Because they don't have the risk factors as much as everyone else. It is based on genetics, a lot of it. Yes, you can develop diabetes, but usually if you've had it in the past, if your family has had it in the past at some point, you are more at risk for diabetes. That's it. Just because you eat a lot of sugar and crap does not mean you're going to be diabetic. No. Next, diabetics need to be on a special diet. No, absolutely not. I can eat whatever I want as long as I eat it in moderation. That is, and that goes on to my next part, and going back to sweets. Moderation is key. You can have whatever you want, but your body reacts to it, and you have to learn how your body reacts to whatever sugars and whatever you're eating. You can't go and say, I'm going to have a whole pie and not expect your sugar to go up as a diabetic. But by the same note, if you have a small piece of pie, a real small slice, just to kind of get the flavor and get it in there, you can have it as long as you know how to control it. For you people that always tell me, stop eating that, you're diabetic, shut up. Please. It drives me insane because I know my body better than you do. And so does every other diabetic out there. That is key. Now, there are some, I will tell you, I know some people that are diabetic that don't give a damn. They will eat and eat and eat and sweets and sweets and sweets and sugars and regular sodas. I drink diet soda. I grew up on soda. Okay? I used to... I can drink 3 liters a day. I try to drink water. It doesn't always work. I try to limit my soda intake. I do. But on a pretty good day, I can have 2 to 3 liters of soda a day. Diet, mind you. Aspartame does not affect sugar in the body. At least that's what I'm told. And it has never affected me, and I drink a whole hell of a lot of Diet Pepsi. So it's a situation where, again, I know my body, and it pisses me off to no end when I go to work every day and someone sees me, and I'm pretend this is a soda. Someone sees me with a soda. And yes, I know beer, sugar, carbs, I know, but not the point. People see me with a diet soda and they're like, why are you drinking soda? You're diabetic. Do you know how it affects me? No. Stop judging. Shut up. Again, this is just, it pisses me off sometimes. I have to, as a diabetic, I tell people just because I'm free, I'm open, it's not, I don't try to hide stuff. I don't care that if someone knows I'm diabetic, okay, it gives them the understanding that if something goes wrong and I start all of a sudden passing out, it could be because diabetes, and it could give them more information that they might need. Most people don't need to know, I know, but I am open like that. I don't care. Again, this is why I'm recording this on YouTube and sharing it with the world. Now, the last point on this is diabetics are, a lot of diabetics are on insulin, or all diabetics are on insulin. It's not the case. I'm not going to show them bottles, but I have a bottle of what's called metformin. I drink 2 pills a day. One in the morning. Speaking of which, actually, I'll take that in a minute. Anyway, whatever. I forgot to take my medicine. I take 2 pills a day. That's it. And in that, I'm pretty well balanced. Sometimes I eat a extra thing here or there that spikes my sugar. Most of the time, I don't. But again, I know my body. So, as time goes on, I might have to take more sorry, just got a message from Frank saying that he's going to be making fun of me. I've got no idea why. Anyway, so when it comes to insulin resistance, you're talking about the body needing more and more insulin to process the same amounts of sugar. That's what that means. That's what it is to be a type 2 diabetic. And like I said earlier, and it's just so frustrating to see every day that people are really trying to bash it over people's heads. You're diabetic, stop eating that. You're diabetic, stop doing this. You're diabetic, stop. Shut up. Again, to everyone out there, if you ever watch this video, shut up. Now, if you're going to be nice and say, well, hey, will this affect you? Hey, I want to understand. Hey, I want to help. Instead of, oh my God, what are you doing? You're going to kill yourself. No, I'm not. You, leave me alone. Anyway, so, the main reason why I got into this, and I'm starting on misconceptions, and what actually brought me to really talk about misconceptions is this actual thing. It's called sugar. Now, it's basically a glucose watch. Now, what's really cool about it is you put it on your wrist and it tells you continuously what your glucose is. Now, there's different ways of measuring it. There's a continuous glucose monitor, and that's just another picture of the watch. But there's the continuous glucose monitor. There is the oh Christ, what is the other one? The picture's going to come up right now. The contact lenses from Google, right? And then there's a little patch, I think. Well, that's a continuous glucose monitor, and then there's more information that it can get from the actual insulin pump. The one on the bottom left, that's an insulin pump. And I think that that middle one was something else. But anyway, this is what brought me to it, because this, and I'm going to let it cycle through. It's a slideshow. This is really awesome technology, and this is something I've been wanting for years, ever since I found out I was diabetic. Because people, you have, whatever, just turn it off. All right, you saw it. Ooh. Sorry. All right, so I love technology. I have my Bluetooth earpiece that I hear everything. I love this one. It's the Voyager, Plantronics Voyager, and I love it because I can hear everything, music-wise or phone calls on my Bluetooth. I am a technical person. I love technology. I had it at one point set up where if my kids were using Netflix, I could know on my phone, because there was I had a widget that would use Tasker, which would use a different app, which would then pull the computer. Point being, I love technology. I love being able to keep on top of things when I need it, how I need it, whenever I need it. I probably repeated when, but yeah. Technology. Sorry, I was just looking how long I've been talking. Technology is great. And I hate it that I have my glucose monitor, which is my testing machine. Excuse me for the mess if I showed it in the background, but it pisses me off that this thing right here, they don't have one that can connect directly through Bluetooth to my phone, and I can automatically get all my information right away when I need it. We need that, and I know it's the drug the drug administration, the FDA, or whoever the hell deals with all this, the medical crap. Yes, I'm sure that there's something in the works. Yes, it needs to go through testing, but there's some things that are just so important that, I use this thing on such a daily basis that I would love to have it more convenient. Why? Because there's an app that I use on my phone, I used to use, but it's just so pain in the basically, because I can't use it. Like right now, I work in a place where I can't use my phone while I'm working. I have to put it away. But I can use my tester, test my sugar, but then I have to go into the phone later and remember to put in all my information, which to me, I get frustrated because I forget. I forget all the time. I'm not very diligent with that. It's the honest to God truth. I'm not. So, I want to be able to use technology and basically build out everything. I recently bought an OBD2 connector, Bluetooth connector for my car that tells me how fast I'm going, tells me my average miles per gallon. It almost gamifies my driving, and not in a bad way. It says, hey, it's got a little bar on bottom. The app is called Dash, and it has a little bar, and it says if it's dark green, that means I'm great on fuel economy. If it's red, that means I need to pay attention more and stop accelerating so hard. Oh man, it's hot today. That's that kind of stuff I love, because I sit in my car, turn on my car, it automatically connects. I don't have to play around with it. I don't have to input numbers manually. I don't have to put how far I've driven. It knows, and that's what I love about the technology, where I want to be able to integrate my diabetes and my testing and my ability to have the information at my fingertips. I want to be able to integrate it much more than I can, and I can't right now. But with Google's contact lenses, granted, I might not be able to use my regular contacts, because that would mean, of course, that I have to have if I use it, I have to have the Google contacts and my regular glasses on in order for it to continuously check my blood sugar. I would love that, though. I would love to be able to just, boom, I already know where I'm at. I don't have to change anything. I don't have to do anything different. these are the kinds of things that need to be pushed through. They need to be tested sooner. They need to be brought to market so much sooner than, I almost guarantee it's going to be like 7 years before we even hear anything really coming out, unless they get pushed through faster, So, but, yeah. Anyway, so I have been talking for almost 20 straight minutes, and I'm sorry if you guys are okay with it. Cool, great. If you're not, I'll try to cut it down. Just let me know, please. You guys know, if you've been watching, robert@frank.com. Any questions, email me. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I still haven't set it up on my phone. Yeah, and I'm not home often, so, or when I'm home, I'm always doing some other stuff. So I got kids I got to deal with. But email me. I promise I'll get back to you guys. And patreon.com/Robert and Frank. If you get even a little bit of enjoyment out of what we do, hit us up. Drop us $1. We appreciate anything and everything you throw down, and we really want to provide all these different shows for you. So make sure, like I said, help us out for anything that you need. Help us out with anything you have, and for everything that we need, to keep up. Eventually we want to have a website, this whole website, and all our videos are going to be there, and the whole rigmarole of what we're going to do. So please make sure to help us out. Throw down like I said, $1 or $2. We definitely appreciate it. So again, patreon.com/Robert and Frank. I'm Robert. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.